Yep, there's two of them.
Hey, Katie Coonan.
No, she's not dressed up. I don't know what she is when she looks. I know.
Yeah. Number 8.
Oh, there's Bobby Chase. With a dog?
Yeah.
I'm not Molly, am I?
I ain't trying to get everybody now.
Family, friends.
Katie, you did end up with a good job. Good for you.
Yeah. He was very disturbed by the fact that I was because we had 9 people sign up. So like 8 would have been good, 10 would have been good, 9 signed up. So I said, Jesus Christ, Michael, can you have my Gabe's not that best.
Right.
Two steps, 2 left.
Oh yeah.
Rhythm, 2 steps, 2 left.
I'm just gonna walk.
I feel like we're at a football game. On graduation. Fine, go.
I know
it, they're all like
Look at the camera.
Drop a knife on me.
Still haven't seen my sister. Yeah, I haven't done the whole thing. Look at everyone up there, Tony and them.
Oh, balloon's gone.
We get swords in the air. I love this.
All we're going to do is we'll pick the shortest people. Just smile that way.
It's Lynn and Michelle.
We are the doves, Nick. We are the doves.
We look like
I'm going down there.
If I trip and fall into the mud, do not win.
Oh, Joe!
Walk right down the middle.
make fun and poke fun of them. Color guarding, once they touch me.
Mr. William Spitz, Chairman of the School Committee. School Committee members, Mr. Ernest of Schools, Mr. David Grenier, Principal, Mr. David Nugent, Assistant Principal, Mrs. Michelle Labonte, Commencement Speaker, Mr. Kevin May, Class Advisor, faculty, family, friends, honored guests in the class of 2008, welcome to the 2008 Oxford High School Commencement. A brilliant man once said, "The past is a ghost, the future a dream, and all we ever have is now." That man was Bill Cosby. And believe me, he knows what he's talking about. This quote applies very well to people about to graduate high school. The past is a ghost. After today, what we did will not matter. When you graduate, you begin a whole new chapter in your life. Anything that you may have done wrong in the past can be forgotten. And anything that you have achieved is just a nice little footnote in your life. Everyone starts with a clean slate, a fresh start to do what they want to do and to be where they want to be. Yet, on the other side of this, you have the part of the future is a dream. Even though we pretty much all know what we're doing next year, we do not know what we're doing 2 years, 5 years, or even 10 years from now. There is no way of knowing exactly what the future holds for us. So we don't know what's going to happen in the future, and we don't need to worry about the past. All we have in our lives is right now. When I began to write my speech for graduation, I realized it is not an easy thing to do. I tried for hours to start writing it, but I ended up just sitting there not being able to find the words to say. So I started looking for advice from family and friends. I received many different words of advice. The advice ranged from people telling me to just say what I am feeling inside, some of my friends just telling me to run away so I didn't have to make a speech. The best advice I received was to just say what it is I would like to say to the graduating class of 2008. And what I want to say to the graduating class is good luck in the future. Next year we'll be all going on to bigger and better things. Some of us will be going right into what they want to do, and some of us will just be taking another step into reaching our ultimate goal. So just want to say best of luck to everyone in their pursuit of their goal in life. Also, as a word of advice, my fellow classmates, don't take anything too serious in life. Life is too short to be constantly worrying about everything. At any point in life, no matter how hard you get knocked down, you can always pick yourself up again. Take it from someone like me, who does not take too many things in his life serious. Take this speech, for example. I worried so much about writing the speech that I stopped taking it so serious, stopped worrying, and just wrote. And I think it turned out pretty well. I mean, anytime you have a quote from Bill Cosby in your speech, you know you're doing something right. Thank you.
Nicely done, Brian. Mr. Spitz, Chairman of the School Committee. School Committee members, Mrs. DeWitzik, Mr. Peterson, Mrs. Ennis, Mrs. Coonan, Principal Mr. Grenier, Assistant Principal Mr. Nugent. Guest speaker from the class of 1976, Ms. Labonte. Yeah. Class advisor, Mr. May. Faculty, staff, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, relatives, friends, class of 2008. I'd like to begin my speech tonight by quoting Anthony Lake, who said as he was about to deliver his commencement address, "I will try to follow the advice given by a college president to his commencement speaker. Think of yourself as the corpse at an Irish wake. They need to have you at the party, but nobody expects you to say too much." With that in mind, let me briefly turn my attention to the class of 2008. Tonight is your night, the culmination of 12 years of education. Hopefully, each of you take what you have learned and apply it throughout your life. Not just the academics, but the social interactions, the successes, and the lessons learned from the failures. Take with you tonight the fact that a part of your journey in life has been completed. Your childhood, as we and your parents know it, has ended, even though most of you felt it ended when you turned 13. And you are about to embark on yet another phase of your life. Some to further your education, some to work, and some to serve your country. Regardless of what path you pursue, your life has forever changed with the culmination of this exercise tonight. Remember that not everything you do in life will be a success, and there will be bumps along the way, but that's okay, as long as you pick yourself up and try again. Always give it your best shot, excuse me, because as I have said to many a graduating class before you, success in life is not always measured by the amount of money you make, the kind of car that you drive, or the number of degrees that you hold, but rather by if at the end of the day you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, "I gave it my best," then you can be satisfied with yourself and happy, because happiness is the key to success. Let me conclude with two quotations that I think are appropriate for this evening. The first is from Dr. Seuss, and I quote, "Be who you are and say what you feel, because those that mind don't matter, and those that matter don't mind." And lastly, a quote that I think is very appropriate for this evening from Gary Boulding. "Your families are extremely proud of you tonight. You can't imagine the sense of pride and relief they are experiencing. So this would be a most opportune time to ask for money." Good luck. Now, Chairman Spitz and the members of the Oxford School Committee, it is my distinct honor as the Superintendent of the Oxford Public Schools to certify to you that the members of the Oxford High School class of 2008 seated before you this evening have successfully completed all the requirements as set forth by the Oxford High School and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and therefore are eligible to be awarded an Oxford High School diploma on this date, June 6th, 2008. Thank you.
Once again, I'd like to welcome everyone here and thank you all for supporting us, the class of 2008, on this pivotal day in our lives. As the school year has come to a close, I had been wondering what I should say in this speech. By doing so, I realized I have never spent so much time reminiscing about our days during high school. We've been walking these hallways for at least 4 years, taking tests or quizzes and doing homework. But above all, we've been making memories and friendships that will last a lifetime. Previous graduates have told me year to year, enjoy high school. They're the best days of your life. And now that these days have passed us all by, I believe we are stuck with the ambivalent question asking if they really were. Even though to us, the days may have seemed to drag on period by period, overall, these years combined have seemed to gone by faster than a race car at the speedway. Together, we have become young adults and been through some of life's most important altering events. From acknowledging how to adapt to a new freedom, to being sophomores, or wise fools as Miss Krantz would say, to juniors learning the rules of the road, and finally, to where we all stand today as seniors, the leaders of the school. However, next year, we will not be returning to Oxford High School, but we shall all be going our separate ways. Whether it's college, the workforce, the armed forces, or any other endeavor we will approach, I hope we all cherish the memories and have enjoyed our times together as a class. And when you look back on all these memories, I hope you smile and say, those were the best days of my life. I wish you all the best of luck and all the happiness that you have given me. As it was once said, now is the time for us to shine, the time when our dreams are in reach and possibilities vast. Now is the time for us to become the people we've always dreamed of being. This is your world. You're here. You matter. The world is waiting. We did it!
Again. Once again, I would like to welcome all of you, and thank you for attending Oxford High School's Class of 2008 commencement ceremony. I can hardly believe this day is finally here. Today's date, June 6, 2008, reminds me of 8th grade when we finally counted the years and realized that we were the graduating class of 2008. I remember during team time, we decorated Mr. Palmerino's room with huge 08 signs. However, back in the day, 2008 seemed so far away, we might as well have been looking forward to 3008. Then, in January of this year, I actually dated a paper using 08, and that's when it hit me. This is really happening. We are really going to graduate. 2008 is not just the year we graduate, but also the year we go off to college, enlist in the military, enter the workforce, or retreat to our parents' basements. It is hard to watch the people I have come to know so well over the last 12 years walk off on their own adventures, possibly to never cross paths with me again. However, my mind is put at ease when I think of all we have accomplished as a class. We have contributed so much to this school and helped bring home countless trophies. From band to football to ROTC, we have proven ourselves again and again over a wide variety of activities. Our student council and NHS have hosted a plethora of charity events, and and our performing arts department always seems to invent new ways to keep us entertained. Also, as an entire class, we built a giant moon man, brought Arabia to the gym, and completely embarrassed ourselves in 50s Grease outfits. Not to mention the whale watch, which went really well. All of these accomplishments as a group reflect what we are capable of achieving as individuals. With a little hard work and a lot of laughter and procrastination, I feel that everyone in here is capable of attaining their own personal goals, whatever they may be. This brings me to the advice section. People always seem to give advice at these sort of events, and to be completely honest, I don't think I'm qualified to tell anyone how to live their life. The only thing I think we should remember as we enter the real world is to follow happiness. Follow your dreams, no matter how outlandish. If you really want to see Paris in the springtime, get a plane ticket. If you want to learn how to tap dance, just do it. If sitting on your couch all summer, eating chips and watching Seinfeld reruns makes you happy, then do it. We only live this life once, so go on. Pursue happiness and enjoy the journey. The Pursuit of Happiness reminds me of another Will Smith movie, I Am Legend. Okay, so graduation has nothing to do with zombies. However, the title speaks volumes. We are all legends of Oxford High School. Our names are in the record books, our pictures in the newspaper, and our gorgeous mural shows Oxford exactly what our personalities are like. Soon our class picture will be hung, and in 25 years, some wide-eyed freshman can look at our senior pictures and think, what's with the weird haircuts? Much like we do to the photos of 1980. All joking aside, this school has been our second home for the last 4 years, and I think some of us have spent more time here than in our actual houses. Although I am going to miss Oxford and all of the wonderful friends I have made here, I am comforted by this thought. We have scattered the school with our own little memorials, and although we are saying goodbye to Oxford High School today, we will never really leave here. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Yeah, I love you too. Good evening, everybody. Hi, God. And a special hello to the graduating class of 2008. In a few moments, we will receive our diplomas, an instant we have all looked forward to since the beginning of our high school careers. We may quickly forget all that we have ever learned, if we haven't already, but we will keep with us the education and memories that this school has offered. High school graduates are like newly hatched birds. Birds are nourished by their parents, taught responsibility by allowing them to fly alone, and finally set into the real world to achieve what they desire. In human terms, this phase of life begins after graduating from high school. As a class of '08, we have traveled a long way to finally reach the threshold commonly called commencement day. Once we eagerly step over the threshold, we begin our journey into reality. Hopefully, we will utilize our education to mold incoming knowledge with creativity to achieve our goals. As an American novelist once said, "You cannot help but learn more as you take the world into your hands. Take it up reverently, for it is an old piece of clay with millions of thumbprints on it." I believe our class will leave a definite mark, hopefully a positive one, in the world. We are all inspired by someone, but prior to this evening, I wasn't sure exactly who or what was our collective inspiration. My classmates answered with names such as Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King Jr., Paris Hilton, J.K. Rowling, SpongeBob SquarePants, and Leonardo da Vinci. I was puzzled, for I have not yet come across many who actually do walk on the paths of these individuals. But then I thought of what these people have in common. They taught. The world travels on the path of the learned. It is actually our teachers who inspire and kindle any flames of ambitions within us. A mediocre teacher merely tells while a good teacher explains. But a great teacher is one who demonstrates and inspires. We, the class of 2008, have been lucky to be nurtured by such teachers. Where else would you find a Spanish teacher willing to take you bird banding or cross an imaginary river and discover pink dolphins? What other calculus teacher would train us to overlook our failures and think of only the best? Before we graduate, I'd like to take this chance to thank our teachers for having dealt with us for 4, and for those of you who really like this school, 5 years. Thank you for coaching us. Thank you for coaching us in more than just the academic subject areas. As I ventured along through high school, I realized that this experience was one I would never trade off for anything. From a frantic freshman year to a stressful sophomore year, then to a jaded junior, we, the class of 2008, finally reached the super senior year. We have all bonded in inseparable ways, creating everlasting friendships and a cherished relationship with Oxford High School. We all remember studying for tests, frantically gathering supplies for projects, and for some, staying up until well after midnight doing essays for AP or advanced procrastination. Our class of 2008 is one with unique personalities, be it Chelsea Bankston's snorting laughter or Stephanie Bellevue's unusual style of donning skirts over pants. We have the ability to capture a second glance. We have future athletes, Broadway actors, artists, musicians, meteorologists, doctors, and quite possibly even presidents. As our senior saying goes, we're kind of a big deal. I pray that the students of our present class reach further beyond the skies, for in this day and age, the sky cannot be the limit. As I end, my last piece of advice to you is, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Goodbye, but with the promise of meeting again.
Good evening. Good evening, School Committee Chairman, Mr. Spitz, School Committee members, Mrs. DeWitzik, Mr. Peterson, Mrs. Coonan, Mrs. Ennis, Superintendent Mr. Boss, Mrs. Boss, Mr. May, class advisor, parents, family, friends, and graduates. The rain is going to hold up this evening, and I am headed to Foxwood after this because I am the luckiest man in Oxford right about now. So I'm going to play that out right after this. This evening is truly an opportunity to celebrate and recognize the achievement of the class of 2008. The last several weeks have been a time of reflection and renewing of friendships that will carry well on into the future. But to get to this point, there are people in the class of 2008's lives, just like the Verizon commercial, who have had a host of family members and teachers that have guided them along the way. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize 2 of those Oxford High School people that have had this impact on our students. First of all, Mr. David Nugent, the assistant principal, who in the last 2 years have been coordinated with Mr. May the junior and senior activities. Mr. Nugent has been there every step of the way to make sure that these seniors have been given the chance to succeed. And to Mr. Kevin May, the senior class advisor, who 3 years ago stepped to the plate to take over this class. And I think it would be safe to say that Mr. May is glad that he did. This class has proved to be a class with character and leadership. Mr. May can be proud to see his guidance and efforts have turned in a success story for his students. And I want to personally thank him for his commitment to his class and his never-ending love for teaching. These students are a true reflection of him. In return, the seniors have continued our tradition of creating a mural with the senior signatures and a salute to K-May's 80s rock and roll. That mural is up on the second floor if you're ever in the building. Seniors Katie Stearns created a beautiful yearbook. The 4 senior officers, Brian Campana, Katie Deasy, Taylor Tagg, and Brianna Paris, have worked hard to make this a memorable year for their class. Zach Setsos is the first Oxford High School student to serve on the Massachusetts Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. Every senior here has contributed to the success of this class. Whether it has been as an officer, project leader, or support person, everyone has participated in some form or another. Those contributions have added to the mix and friendship and character of this class. It is always difficult to remember every moment of the last 4 years, but particularly this year, we have seen the fruits of 12 years of parental and teachers' labor. The music, theater, art, NJROTC, student government, and National Honor Societies have seen the best class of seniors perform, act, and contribute to the community. In all cases, whether it be in a parade, football stands, Book of Hope, the memory projects, senior centers, Alabama competition, or Virginia competition, your sons and daughters have represented you, themselves, and this community with the utmost class and respect. For that, I am very grateful. This character is a reflection of you as parents and the teachers that have challenged them for the past 12 years. Today is your day to be recognized also for your guidance and compassion over the years. These seniors have set the bar for other classes to follow. I want to recognize teachers from grades K through 12 who have also made this day possible, and especially Mrs. Kathy Whelan, Mr. Tom Ward, Mrs. Debbie McDonald in the guidance department, and my own Miss Mary Jane Rassicott, Mrs. Ginny Lilly, and Mr. Dave Nugent, who have worked so diligently for me in the front office. And not the least, to Mr. Jamie Heatherman and the custodial crew who have worked diligently to make sure that the building and grounds and the seatings for today have all been well coordinated. The students have selected this year 2 outstanding staff members to recognize them as Teacher of the Year. And I salute Ms. Candy LaRange, who was chosen as Teacher of the Year from this class. And this class has also dedicated their yearbook to Mrs. Cheryl Heatherman. Eight of our senior boys will also continue their high school careers tomorrow at 5:30, 4:30 Central Time, at Tivnan Field in Worcester to capture the District E Baseball Championship, which has not been done since 2001. The best of luck to the boys. I just want to mention that the newspaper, I guess this morning, had probably 3:30, 4:30, so the correct time is 5:30 tomorrow night. Finally, I'd like to wish the class of 2008 the success that they deserve. As they say in Texas, they have done me proud. I don't know if they really say that in Texas. I had to pick a state. So Texas is the one. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Yeah, there's no birthdays today. Okay. Today in history. Okay, they're giving me a hard time now because of everything. So we'll have to read off the histories and the birthdays later. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to be with you guys. It's been great, and as I told them before, all the best of luck, and God bless. When's your birthday, Russ? In 4 days, okay. This evening, I am honored to have with us as our commencement speaker, Ms. Michelle Labonte, who has been a career Foreign Service officer with the U.S. Department of State since 1989. She is currently working in Washington as the head of the Post-Management Division of Bureaus of European and Eurasian Affairs and international organizations, where she is responsible for the oversight of 81 overseas missions and a budget of $800 million. In August, she will transfer to her next assignment at the U.S. Embassy in Paris. Ms. Labonte is a 1976 graduate of Oxford High School, where she graduated with high honors and was active in the chorus, various clubs, and a member of the gymnastics team, and also a drum major of the marching band. That's right. And her picture is up on the wall in the hallway also. You can see it on the way out. 1976. She graduated with a BA in foreign. Sorry, Michelle. She graduated with the BA in Foreign Affairs from Assumption College and received a Master's of Business Administration from Boston College. Prior to her Foreign Service career, Ms. Labonte spent 3 years as a systems consultant with SEI Systems and was a product manager for Texas Instrument. Since joining the Foreign Service, Ms. Labonte has served overseas in Jamaica, Romania, Madagascar, Niger, and Bangladesh. In Washington, she has worked as a watch officer in the Bureau of Intelligence and Research, a senior watch officer, an acting deputy director in the State Department Operations Center, and desk officer for Hungary. She is married to Michael Jackson and has 2 children, Max and Marcus. Please welcome Ms. Michelle Labonte.
Thank you. Chairman of the School Board, Mr. Spitz, and honorable members of the school committee, Superintendent Boss, and dedicated administrators, Principal Grenier, and hardworking members of the OHS faculty and staff, proud parents, family members, loved ones, and distinguished graduates of the Pirates class of 2008. I am incredibly honored to speak at such an important event and congratulate each of you for the hard work and determination you displayed to reach this milestone. I would also like to thank Mr. Grenier for inviting me here. It's hard to imagine that I was sitting almost exactly 32 years ago to the day where you are today. I would also add that, according to my yearbook, the Oxford High School class of 1976 was the first to hold a graduation outside.
You betcha.
As I reflected on what I could possibly say that would be of interest to you, I tried to remember my own graduation, and I'm afraid I had to look up into my yearbook to see who the speaker was, and can honestly say the only thing I remember was that we hoped it would be over soon so we could get to our party. As president of the school board for 3 years at the American International School in Dhaka, I always invited my sons, Max and Marcus, sitting right there, to attend the graduation ceremonies. I thought I would try to teach them about the wonders of high school and the inspirational nature of graduations. Mostly they squirmed in their seats, rolled their eyes at the long-winded speakers. So with that in mind, I brought them with me again tonight, so I could keep an eye on their reactions and hopefully avoid those pitfalls myself. So I will do my best to be brief. When I asked Mr. Grenier what topics I should be prepared to cover, he suggested I reflect on how Oxford High School influenced my life and professional career. I immediately thought of my French teacher, Andre Casavant, because I've used French throughout my foreign service career in Madagascar, West Africa, and now as I prepare for my assignment in Paris. And by the way, I am still taking French classes, even though I started them in middle school. I thought of Judy Hodgeny and Joe Coonan, who as English and psychology teachers chaperoned our trip to London and Paris, one of the single most important events in my life because it ignited and reinforced my passion for a career in the Foreign Service, and also dissuaded me from one of my other options, which was to be a flight attendant after having to watch those poor women deal with a plane load of rambunctious teenagers. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized it would be impossible for me to pinpoint how this school impacted my life. For me, the most important influences that shaped me growing up were my family, my schools, and my church. And for me, it is absolutely impossible to differentiate between my family and the Oxford school system. They are one and the same in my mind. My grandmother, Myrtle Hamilton, graduated from Oxford High School in 1931. My mother, Judy Labonte, my mom, graduated in 1954. My brothers, Michael and Jeffrey, graduated in 1977 and 1979. More importantly, my grandmother was a first grade teacher at Chafee School for over 25 years. I like to tell this story. I was 10 years old before I figured out that grammar school didn't mean Chafee School. When people would ask me if I was in grammar school, I'd say, no, I go to Jocelyn. Perhaps one of the most important factors in my, I think, pretty successful academic and professional career was that my uncle, Roger Bacon, was the assistant principal throughout my high school years. So if I was in any way inclined to veer too far off the path of extracurricular activities in my studies, I had a forceful presence to keep me on track. Beyond that, my Aunt Norma Parker was an elementary school teacher for 35 years before she retired last year. I'm sure many of you had her as a kindergarten or second grade teacher. My cousin Kathy Looney teaches now and directs the same kinds of musical productions we participated in so many years ago. I could go on about my niece and the numbers of my cousins and now their kids who have all benefited both from family and the Oxford school system. So you see, my family is so intimately intertwined with Oxford schools, it's impossible to separate the two and the profound influence they have had on my life, my personal as well as professional development. I owe each and every one of them, family, teachers, administrators, and supporters, a debt of gratitude, and I'm fortunate to be able to repay some of that by being here tonight. I have no doubt that tonight's graduates all have similar experiences, perhaps not an uncle who is assistant principal, but important and reliable sources of guidance, strength, and encouragement. And I hope you'll take the time tonight to honor and thank them for their contributions to your accomplishments. The next thing Mr. Grenier advised me, see, I'm very good at following instructions. The next thing Mr. Grenier advised me was that I talk about my career and share some insights from my own experience that might resonate with you. I'm not sure I'll be following his precise guidance, but I'll try. Again, as I reflected back to my own graduation, I thought it might be interesting to compare it to yours in 2008. In many ways, things are dramatically different. I'm quite sure there was not a computer to be found here in 1976. I wrote a $5,000 check to pay for my Assumption College tuition, which also covered room and board for my entire freshman year. And we were all still nursing our wounds, following another disappointing Red Sox loss in Game 7 to the Cincinnati Reds in the 1975 World Series. So you can see how times have really changed around here. On the other hand, like any good diplomat, I naturally tend to search for areas of common ground and shared values, despite differences in cultures, religion, class or national interest, in this case, age. And therefore, I am more struck at how similar your experiences are to those we encountered in 1976. There are the obvious ones, of course. Aerosmith was at the top of the charts. Aerosmith is still touring today. And Mr. Boss was here. He was our special ed teacher, basketball and football coach, and now, of course, superintendent. But beyond that, the political and economic dynamics facing our country are eerily similar to those of 1976. First, today's rising gas prices and concerns about the economy are very much like those of the 1970s, following the first oil embargoes in 1973 and the oil shocks that lasted throughout the decade. They had an adverse impact on the economy and consequently our job prospects at that time. It may not be as easy as you hope to get started on your own career, just as it wasn't for me. I'm very fortunate to have achieved my career aspirations, but it was not an immediate, straight, or direct path, just as your own journey may not be. Be prepared to accept and learn from setbacks, and be prepared to deviate from your plans. There are alternative paths that can and will lead you to the same outcome. Don't be discouraged or defeated because you weren't accepted to your first choice of college or a project didn't work out the way you had hoped. When I graduated from high school, I knew I wanted to join the Foreign Service, but it took me 13 years to get there. When I graduated from college, I waitressed at Rom's in Sturbridge for more than a year after I graduated before I got a real job. I admit that I got very discouraged. I did not have the professional experience companies were looking for. I did not come from a family that could afford for me to take unpaid internships when I needed to earn real tuition money. But I never stopped trying, and I used that time to save money, to hone my interpersonal skills. I took night classes to learn German, and I joined the World Affairs Council so I could stay active in areas that interested me. I finally did get a job. For a consultant where we managed projects in Saudi Arabia and London. It wasn't the Foreign Service, but it was in international finance, and I learned an incredible amount about accounting and the financial services industry. So I urge you all to take full advantage of and learn from any opportunity, whether they're those you had planned on or not. I didn't pass the Foreign Service exam the first time I took it. In fact, I probably took it 4 or 5 times before I finally passed. Yet when that didn't work out, I pursued other career interests. I got an MBA and had a pretty promising career in international marketing before I finally did join the Foreign Service. Almost 20 years later, I think that's worked out okay. So I would just advise you to work hard, be flexible, and be patient. And I'm sure you too can achieve your own dreams and aspirations. The next similarity that strikes me are the parallels between today's national self-reflection combined with intense patriotism following the recent history of September 11th and the Iraq War. So it was in 1976. The Vietnam War had recently ended. Our president had resigned amidst a scandal, and the environmental movement was just getting off the ground to address unchecked pollution. But it was also the year we celebrated our bicentennial, and the pride we all felt in our country's unlikely birth as a democratic experiment based on the vision, brilliance, and unselfishness of the Founding Fathers. We remembered the solid foundation of liberty and individual freedom upon which our great country was built, and recognized the important leadership role the United States would continue to play as an example for others to emulate. Not that much has changed in 32 years. The challenges our country faces are admittedly different, but the same strong foundation will support all of us as we address them in the 21st century. The world has gotten smaller, and problems can no longer be confined by national borders or successfully resolved by governments alone. At the State Department, we place a major emphasis on global issues, which know no boundaries and can only be solved by collective action of all stakeholders. Problems such as global warming, trafficking in persons, HIV/AIDS, malaria eradication, energy security, and counterterrorism are just a few that come to mind. While I certainly encourage you all to consider a career in public service, and I also understand that one of you has already made a commitment to join the military after graduation, congratulations and thank you to Katie. But you don't have to join the military or work for the government or be Brangelina or Oprah to make a difference. I urge you all to be good and active global citizens. Find a cause that interests you. You will be amazed at how important small amounts can mean to women's development projects by giving chickens or goats to widows with no other means of support, mosquito nets to help against malaria in Africa, or school supplies so boys and girls can continue their education. Volunteer to help refugees or displaced persons who have come to our country. Recycle, use your bike, shop at farmers markets. There's something that everyone can do to contribute. Finally, I would like to comment on what to me is the single most important similarity between now and when we graduated in 1976. And if you remember anything about what I say here tonight, I hope it will be this. This year, as it was in '76, is a presidential election year. And I hope you are all as excited as I was to finally have my chance to exercise my right to vote. Individual participation in the democratic process is the foundation our country was built upon. And compared to most of the world, our participation rates is shockingly low, and something I don't understand, given the sacrifices that have been made in order to secure and preserve those rights. I've spent the last 20 years working to promote democracy around the world. I observed the first legislative elections in Romania following the collapse of communism there. I witnessed herdsmen and women and their caravans cross the Sahara Desert on foot to have their chance to vote. I sat on the damp floors of rundown classrooms in Bangladesh with a single flashlight to illuminate the vote counting going on. So it is incomprehensible to me to see that we do not take the same pride and enthusiasm for our elections in the United States. It is a privilege and a responsibility, and the most important thing you can do as a citizen. I urge each and every one of you to register and vote in November. It doesn't matter for whom, but it does matter that your voice be included and heard. The preservation of the solid foundation that I mentioned earlier depends upon it. We depend upon it. Starting tonight, you are the future leaders of our country, and we are counting on you. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. This brings us to the portion of our scholarship presentations. And before I do that, I'd like to read two citations. This one has been presented to us from our Senator, State Senator Richard T. Moore. It's an official citation from the State Senate. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to the Oxford class of 2008 in recognition of your successful completion of the prescribed course of study and your graduation from high school. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, and that this citation is duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. Congratulations from Senator Moore. This is also from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts House of Representatives, and this is given to our valedictorian. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincere congratulations to Werda Radzik in recognition of being selected at Oxford High School's valedictorian. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Signed, Salvatore Di Masi, Speaker of the House. So Werda, As I call the students' names, I'm going to ask them to stand, and please hold your applause until we're through all of the scholarship recipients. First recipient, Werda Radzik. Werda Radzik will receive the Victoria Rose Walsh Scholarship, the Hannah Harwood Scholarship, and the Laura Shepardson Award. Katerina Talicki receives the William W. and Alfred M. Taft Scholarship and the Doris Boyle Memorial Award. Chelsea Bankston, the OHS Booster Club Scholarship, William and Alfred Taft Scholarship, the Mary Olive Wood and Laura Wood Scholarship, and the Angela Lakovic Memorial Scholarship. Jared Mahota, the Mark Carey Memorial Scholarship. Kerry O'Connor, the Chafee Brothers Scholarship Award. Kayla Diaz, the Leslie Edith Chafee Scholarship and the OHS Art Scholarships. Sinead Gallivan, the Walter Demick Scholarship, Jean Shea Scholarship, St. Anne's Parish Chip Hanlon Scholarship, and the IPG Photonics Scholarship. Jared Demalia, the Mass Coalition of Police Local 173, the Oxford Educational Association Scholarship, and the Lillian Pottle Scholarship. Caitlin Stearns, the Kathy Evans Scholarship, the Eugene McKinney Scholarship, the Lynn Riley Scholarship, and the Gahagan Family Scholarship. Stephanie Klein, the Leslie and Edith Chafee Scholarship. Amanda Martell, the H. Ellsworth Hobbs Scholarship. Ethan Rosson, the Oxford Women's Club Josie Tyler Scholarship, the Stephen B. Memorial Scholarship, and the American Financing Corporation Scholarship. Amy Fish, the Oxford Women's Club Scholarship, the Freeman and Phoebe Rosebrooks Scholarship, the Nancy J. Bennett Scholarship, and the Webster Dudley Chamber of Commerce Scholarship. Megan Gay, the Oxford Educational Association Scholarship, and the David J. Richards Memorial Scholarship. David Goyette, the Glenn Pottle Scholarship. Devin Conlon, the William and Alfred M. Taft Scholarship, the Oxford Women's Club Scholarship. Jeremy Broussard, the Oxford Women's Club Clara Barton Scholarship, Jeremiah Moffett Scholarship, and the OHS Booster Club Scholarship. Catherine Deasy, the Irwin D. Pottle Scholarship. Taylor Tagg, the Jeffrey Favalita Scholarship, and the Gahagan Family Scholarship. Zach Setsos, the Webster Spring McClevin Scholarship, the Frank Zanella Scholarship, and the Oxford Council Knights of Columbus, number 4241 Scholarship. Katie Hebden, the Mark T. Brule Scholarship, Daughters of American Revolution Good Citizen Certificate. Josh Atru, the F. Duncan Wilson Scholarship. Josh Kennan, the Marion Yvonne Lazaro Scholarship. John Burke, the Danny Clem Athletic Scholarship and the St. Anne's Parish Chip Hanlon Scholarship. Kelsey Rio, the Mary Olive Wood and Cora D. Wood Scholarship, the Algot and Ruth Anderson College Expense Fund, and the Clara Barton PTO Scholarship. Alicia Strader, the Olive Wood and Cora D. Wood Scholarship, and the Irwin and Lillian Pottle Scholarship. Amy Kimball, the Lisa Yucatonis Scholarship. Stephanie Bellabo, the St. Anne's North Oxford CCD Teachers Aid Scholarship, the Oxford Council Knights of Columbus, number 4241, and the Oxford High School Teachers Scholarship. David Heaps, the William W. and Alfred M. Taft Scholarship, the St. Anne's Parish Chip Hanlon Scholarship. Mitchell Brigham, the Oxford High School Teachers Scholarship. Jason Supunka, the IPG Photonics Scholarship. Haley Pavolis, the Mary Olive Wood and Cora D. Wood Scholarship, the OHS Booster Club Scholarship. Brianna Paris, the Amy LaFleche Memorial Athletic Scholarship. Benjamin LaRue, the Angela Lakovic Memorial Scholarship. Randy Pitko, the George A. Pitko and Paul P. Pitko Civil Engineering Scholarship Fund. Ian Cachadorian, the William W. and Alfred M. Taft Scholarship, the John S. Lane and Sons Scholarship, and the AstraZeneca Science Scholarship. Michelle Thompson. The Danny Clem Athletic Scholarship, St. Anne's Parish Chip Hanlon Scholarship, and the OHS Booster Club Scholarship. Megan Gallant. The Oxford Council Knights of Columbus, 4241. And Valerie Sincata. The Hagen Family Scholarship. Let's have a round of applause for our scholarship.
Brian Albert Campana. Warda Razik. Katerina Eileen Tylicki. Chelsea Elizabeth Bankston. Lindsay May La Rochelle. Jill Ann Parker. Ashley Marie Keogh. Jessica Elizabeth Cody. Elizabeth Marie Dyer. Melinda Lucille Baez.
Her boyfriend. Her boyfriend, Melinda. Oh, I don't know his name. He lives in Boston now.
Amber Rose Sad. Valerie Betty Lee Sincada. Amanda May Martell. Bethany Michelle Barker. Joshua Eric Kennan. Cody Robert Largess. Anthony Michael Lafort. Christopher Robert Ryan. Sean Michael Evans. Andrew Philip LaForce. Taylor Michael Hopkins.
I'm leaking from everywhere.
Randy Donald Pitko. David Richard Heaps Jr. Andrew John Donnelly. Caitlin Ashley Stearns. Kimberly Elizabeth Lamarche.
You have to screw these with
Sinead Maureen Gallivan.
I'm sorry.
Devin Tyler Conlon. Kelsey Elizabeth Rio. Haley Layla Pavolis.
Is she gorgeous?
Erica Jean Longchamps. Alicia Marie Strader. Stephanie Jean Beliveau. Amy Lynn Fish. Anthony Michael Miller.
That wasn't that loud. We got rocks, so I was like, I'm gonna graduate in about 27 years.
James Peter Iwano.
No, he isn't.
Jared James Mahota. Ricardo Antonio Rivera. Russell John Morris. Matthew Joseph Carpino. Ryan David Garso. Scott Russell Tessier.
He is that one. He is the one. I'm standing.
Joshua Thomas Ellis. Zachary Morse Bigwood.
All right, Alan.
Ashley Rose Spickerman. Nicole Marie Reel. Megan Ann Gay. Heather Dawn Campbell. Catherine Jean Deasy. Michelle Ann Thompson. Emily Ann Bolio. Lauren Marie Cheney. Amy Lee Hansen. Brittany Lee McDonald. Jason Charles Zapunka. Ian Lee Kachadorian. Ethan Otis Brawson. Joshua Thomas Achu. Jared James D'Amelia. Michael Pasquale Udiciani. Daniel Walter Byron. Nicholas Matthew Deeren. Thomas Allen Friend.
Everybody knows Thompson. You were a horrible person. No, you failed. You were no Thompson.
Travis Daniel Plant.
No, there really is. Yeah. Why would you blow it for that?
Jessica Elizabeth Roach. Taylor Nicole Tagg. Christina Marie Nelbandian. Caitlin Elizabeth Hebden. Jason Meredith Baggett. Samaya Mersu Bahigasi Mamadova. Samantha Lynn Stewart.
Had to make up for some people.
She doesn't want to go. Look at Maggie.
Emily Ann Richardson.
Yeah, Maggie. Yeah.
Megan Ann Gallant.
Yeah, Maggie!
Yeah.
Brittany Lee Pinkham. Brendan James Anthony Meadows. Mitchell John Brigham. Benjamin Emile LaRoe. Scott Allen Anise. Jeremy Matthew Prasad. Steele Hudson. Thomas Joseph Arsenal. Zachary Spiros Setsos. George Harrison Lath. David John Goyette.
There we go. That's wrong. Yes. Oh no, there's another row.
Amy Lynn Kimball.
I do.
Rebecca Diane Testone. Kayla Edwina Diaz. Allison Haley Barry. Allison is also the recipient of the Victoria Dream Team Scholarship. Kristen Ashley Kaczynski. Tara Ann Scarry. Carrie Elizabeth O'Connor. Kelsey Ray Doyen. Kristen Marie Androwski. Brianna Marie Paris. Michael Francis McDonald. John Matthew Burke. Christopher Allen Hallback. Kenneth Christopher Bjorkland. Joshua Andrew Blanchett. Joseph Michael Piscatelli.
He's so dull. They're all like running him coming up.
Justin Michael DeGatano. Jenna Lynn Rodier. Krista Elizabeth Biso. Amy Elizabeth Gaddis. Valerie Ann Fogg. Stephanie Marie Klein. April Rose Amaral. One more scholarship mention. Russell Morris did receive the Angela Architect Scholarship. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce you to the graduated class of 2008.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey!
Good.